Hey, what's going on, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be doing a unboxing and review of Cefrank's RGB LED strip lights made specifically for Ikea Detolf display cases. Now, they did send me these lights for free, but they're not, paying me for this review. They're going to see the review at the same time as you guys. So this is just my complete, honest thoughts on these lights. So what I'm going to do is unbox them, kind of give you guys a little walkthrough of what's included, and then I'm going to install them into one of my display cases and compare them to my kind of custom lighting setup that I have here, which is pretty much these angle brackets here with some LED strips so that they're angled down at a 45 degree. So I had that on each of the actual sections of the display case. So we'll see how these actually compare. Now, I don't have RGB strips. These are just regular white lights, but I'll just look at the white lights with these and compare and see how they look. So let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so here we have the actual box, and looking at some of the information on here, we have 3 watts by 4, so 3 watts, I guess, for each strip, 16 colors, 4 mode changes, 130-degree beaming angle, so definitely interested in seeing that. And then we have like 50 hours worth of LED lights, so plenty of lights. And then on the back here, we just have some kind of dimensions on here of the wires, and then some installation instructions, I guess. Hopefully there's some better instructions on the inside because this doesn't look like much, to be honest, but we'll see. Maybe it's pretty easy to put together, but let's go ahead and get it unboxed. So here we have, of course, nice little remotes. And we have what looks like to be kind of the, I don't know, we'll say power controller maybe. Some attachments. No idea what these clips are for. Probably for screwing in the lights if you want to do it that way. All right, here's the actual AC adapter. Then we have some cables here. And that's it. So it looks like we definitely got to just kind of rely on these instructions here. So let me give them a look and see what we got. All right, so here we have all the lights connected, and it's actually pretty easy. The instructions, not the greatest, but if you just look at it, it's very easy to actually figure out. So here we do have a LED strip here, and on each end of the LED strip, we have one end with a connector that is covered by the actual plastic, and we have another end with a connector that's sticking out. So you're gonna take your wire, and the one that has the plastic over it, you're just going to connect that to the exposed end of the LED strip, and that's it. The other end of the wire is going to go into the actual light controller here, and you're pretty much done. You just do that for all 4, and that's all you got to do. Now, in terms of the other components that come with this, so we, of course, we do have our little brackets here that's going to attach to our lights so we can actually put it in our Detolf. So these little metal brackets just kind of slide right into the LED strip, so that's pretty nice. And then we have these little sticky things here that we're going to put here and attach to our Detolf shelves themselves. So pretty easy to actually install. In theory, we'll see once we actually get to installing them in our Detolf. But then we have some extra parts over here. So we have some, like, these are like extension cables essentially. So if you want to like attach each of the LED strips together in kind of like series, you can do that. So this will go into this, and then it'll attach to another LED strip. So we're not going to use that for our Detolf, of course, because they're going to be on different levels. So no point in doing that. And then we do have like a bunch of screws and little plastic clips. No idea what these are supposed to be used for. I mean, screws and glass, probably not the best idea. So I'm assuming these just come included with all the lights that they actually do. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the lights themselves. Let me turn these on. And let me adjust it just a little bit so it's not too bright. All right, so there we go. So here we just have our white lights, and looking at the remote again, you can see we can adjust the brightness up here. We have all of our different colors, and then we do have like the different modes. So let's just go through some of the colors real quick and see how they look. So here we have like a red, orange, different type of orange, yellow. Not sure how well this is actually gonna come out in the video, but they look pretty decent. Then I can adjust the brightness. Let's do that. So this is the brightest of this color. Let's look at the white real quick and the brightest. So this is the brightest white. Kind of hard to really tell on camera, but we'll see what it's going to look like in the actual Detolf in a little bit. But let's go through the modes real quick. So we have the flash mode. So this cycles through all the colors and kind of flashes them very quickly. Then we have the strobe. Of course, just going to strobe the one color that you have selected. So I'm assuming if I do like an orange and then hit strobe, nope. So it'll only strobe the white color. It's not going to strobe like any other color. Yeah, just the white is going to strobe. So that's that. And then we have fade, which is kind of like a strobing, but it goes through all the different colors themselves. And then we do have this last one, which is kind of a smooth, which doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, okay. So I understand now. So if I do flash, okay, so if I do flash and these buttons up here that adjust the brightness, they'll also adjust the timing of how often they'll actually like change colors. So I can make it go really fast like this, or I can make it go like kind of really slow by adjusting the two brightness buttons here. So I'm guessing I can do that with some of these other things. Like see, the strobe is much slower now. So yeah, so that's how you control kind of the different timings of the different modes by using the actual brightness buttons up here. So kind of cool, but for me personally, I'm just gonna be using like, this is straight white. That's, I'm a simple guy. I don't really need all the fancy stuff, but I thought, getting these RGB lights would be really good for just a general review. So let's go ahead and go take this stuff over to the Detolf and get everything installed. All right, so we are ready to get these lights installed into the Detolf. And before that, a quick little correction. These little metal clips, you don't actually need them for installing into a Detolf. You can just take that double-sided tape that comes included or whatever double-sided tape that you have, and then just slap them on the back of the lights and put them onto the shelves themselves. These little metal clips are probably for a different application in which you need to like screw the lights into something. But for our Detolf, we're not gonna be using them. So let's go ahead and get these lights installed. All right, so here we have the lights installed and pretty straightforward. Again, you just slap on that double-sided tape to the back of an LED strip and then you tape it onto the edge of a display shelf and you're all done. But what comes next is definitely gonna be the more challenging part, and that's gonna be the wire management. So here we have all the wire just kind of naturally hanging down once their lights are installed. And you can see you're gonna have to do a little bit of work here. So it's gonna take some work. I'm not gonna do it for this video because I'm not sure if I'm keeping this light in permanently, but if I were to do it, I would probably run the wire to the back side of the Detolf down one of the rods and do it that way. And you do have plenty of like wire to work with here. So this is the wire from the very top LED strip and it comes pretty much all the way down to the bottom of the actual Detolf. So they give you some playroom with how you want to actually kind of cable management this stuff. But yeah, I guess that's going to be definitely the challenging part when it comes to this installation. Now looking at the quality of the light. So there are a couple of things that I'm looking at here. So the first thing is going to be coverage of the light. So when I'm looking at this shelf here, I have some 1/7 scale figures, 3 up front and then 2 in the back on some kind of mid-height risers. And I would say the coverage of the light looks pretty good. They're all pretty well evenly lit up. Even the figures up front where I typically do see a little bit more shadows, especially like on their face, I would say very little shadow at all. So overall, the coverage looks great. I'm guessing this is that 130 degrees worth of lighting that they have on the outside of the box coming into play here. Now, second, in terms of brightness, it looks pretty bright right now. I am shooting in a room with a big window right now, but even with that light coming in from that window, it's still very, very bright on the brightest setting that I have here right now. I'll have some B-roll a little bit later kind of showing you guys what it's gonna look like in a dark room, but I can confidently say it's gonna be plenty bright in a nice dark lit room. So I doubt I have to worry about that. And then when it comes to like all the other colors, well, I mean, they're colors, they look fine. I really have nothing to say too much about them. You have a lot of different colors that you can do. And then again, of course, you have all of those different type of settings that you have here, the flash, the strobe here. Then we have the fade. And then we have a smooth. So yeah, you have all those different settings. Nothing that I'm personally ever going to use, but you know, if that's something that you're interested in, I could actually see some use for that. Maybe you have like, you know, a get together, some people over, and you just kind of want to liven up the room. That'd be actually a cool way to actually do it. So I can actually see some benefit with having those type of like, you know, effects. So it's nighttime and I was able to test the lights in a nice dark room. Now in terms of brightness, they definitely get plenty bright. In fact, if I were to use these lights myself, I would probably turn them down just a little bit. And that's a good thing about these is that they do offer a decent amount of adjustments when it comes to brightness, so you can dial it into exactly what you want. And then of course I did try all of the party modes and they look cool. Just probably something I don't see a lot of people using, at least for like, you know, a figure collection like this. But you know, maybe if you have some people over, you just need to set the mood. Again, they can be pretty cool to use. And then of course I did compare the white with these RGBs to just a pure white LED strip. So on the right hand side in my Detolf, I have a 6500 Kelvin white LED strip, and you can see the color temperature difference between the two whites. I'm assuming with RGBs, they're going to be using that blue light to try to get a white, you know, as close as possible, but of course there's going to be some blue kind of tones to it to make it look a lot cooler. I think that's just a limitation of RGBs in general and not the Cefrank light. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at any RGB light, to be honest. What you really are looking for when it comes to a white light, RGB's not going to get to that natural daylight that you can get with just a pure white light. But again, it's just a matter of preference on what you want. I really am starting to enjoy this nice, cool white light that I have here. And it does give you the options of having different colors and all those cool party modes. So something to keep in mind. Now, Cefrank also offers a white set for the Detolfs, and it's pretty close to the color temperature that I have here on the right-hand side in my Detolfs at around 6,000, 6,500 Kelvin. So pretty much that daylight color temperature. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about price and value. So right now these lights are going for $40 on Cefrank's website. Apparently they are on sale and they normally go for $50, and that does include the shipping, at least here in the United States. So you're paying $40 for RGBs to light up one Detolf. Now, that does seem a little expensive. I can go on Amazon's website right now and get like 100 feet of RGBs for like $45. I'm not sure they're gonna be the same quality, but you know, that's 100 feet of lights. But with these Cefrank lights, you just kind of get that what I would consider a cleaner look. You have that nice one LED light strip there. You have like the custom cut wire, the soldering's been done for you, and it's just kind of plug and play really, and just kind of, you know, kind of quickly install it. So as for someone who's done that themselves, you know, I have pretty much done all my own soldering, wire cutting, measurements, and all that stuff. I would say paying a little bit of a premium for that is worth it. And I would say $40 seems kind of fair, to be honest, for the amount of work that it actually takes and all the equipment that you need, a soldering iron, you need a saw, you need a lot of stuff to do that. So paying for that, you know, kind of extra service to get it set up for you seems kind of fair for me. So great lights. I'll leave some links down in the description if you want to check them out for both the RGBs and the pure white lights. These are non-affiliate links, guys. I do not make any money if you click these links and buy anything or anything like that. This is just a honest review. I think they're great lights and you should consider picking them up. But that's all for this video, guys. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Be on the lookout for some more anime figure unboxings, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.